Are we good to go, yeah?
Yeah, that's all good.
Sweet. Good evening and welcome to another episode of Touchline Fracas. I'm joined this evening by two regulars. On my left, I've got Jermaine. How's it going, Jermaine?
All good, all good.
I'm glad we can meet on, good terms
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Monday's result. Ellis.
Yo,
How you doing, man?
I'm happy, man.
I think this is the first time you've been on the pod
Yeah.
this season, coming off an L, isn't it?
Wow, easy though.
It's been a long time. We'll touch on that. We'll touch on that. But we'll start with today's games. Did you guys catch the Super Sunday? Just the one game on the Super Sunday. Not what I grew up on, but I guess 2020 here. Here's where we are with like umpteen broadcasters now. So
Can't lie, Sky Sports did you dirty though, man.
yeah. I don't even use Sky Sports anymore.
I don't even blame them anyway. Going off.
I think BT Sports was showing Rangers versus.
Sky Sports.
Was it Sky Sports?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They done you dirty. That's what I'm saying. I was a
They never played anyone big as well.
All right, cool. So we'll
Disgusting.
touch on the late game firstly. Arsenal at home versus Everton, a 3-2 win for Arteta's boys. Who caught the game?
Caught first half, so.
I caught up until they were winning 2-1 and I turned it off.
Understandable.
I just wanted to see pain. So
And you didn't get it at all this weekend. It is what it is.
For
Ellis, what did you think? Obviously, it's been a decent amount of time into Arteta's tenure now. So what did you think of today's performance?
They started off poorly. Everton was on them, pamming them asses. Everton started with like a 4-4-2 shape, typical Arteta. Arsenal started with their same shape with on the left. I'm not too sure about this, Aubameyang on the left. But he's a net, isn't it? So he can net from anywhere.
I know, and he did today as well.
He did today, yeah.
He's going to carry on doing it, to be fair.
Everton took a surprise lead. Calvert-Lewin with an overhead kick.
Can't stop scoring.
You can't, man. Get him on a plane.
Yeah.
Nah,
What? Because there's only space for him or Tammy in it. So obviously, if you're saying get him on the plane, he's indirectly saying don't put Tammy on the plane.
Is Kane going to be fit?
No, but I think there's
I don't even
Ings
want
has got more than him.
My guy Ings, listen, Ings needs to get on that plane, 100%.
How many
Ings got more than
Ings
him?
got like 15, no?
16 or 15, 16. Rashford's got more than him.
Calvert-Lewin's got 14.
He's got 14 now.
Yeah.
Out of all of them after Kane, though, I think the most all-rounded player is like
it's
Kane,
Danny
Ings. So
yeah,
I think
So what, he should be the next up, yeah?
Yeah.
I think so. To be
cool.
honest,
It was a good finish, though, man.
It was a very good finish.
It was a very good finish. Then Arsenal kind of woke up. I think Kolasinac came off injured. Saka come on, big up Saka. Lovely ball.
Having a good season.
Yeah,
He is, man.
crazy
He's a good
cross.
player. He's a good talent. Good talent. Beautiful cross for Eddie Nketiah.
Yeah.
Nketiah, yeah.
Nketiah.
Marlowe to his friend.
Yeah, it was a good ball. Good finish. The game started going back and forth, a bit scrappy. But Arsenal turned up, man. Arsenal done what they had to do, man. We don't really watch them teams there, fam.
I think it's encouraging with Arteta, like in terms of what's encouraging for Arsenal fans is that the way Arteta is setting up the squad looks like he's looking towards the future. Like in terms of like with the youngsters and he's trying to, he's trying to just get his philosophy across, get his style of play across. Trying to make sure that they don't lose games. Like I know you can get onto him for drawing games, and he hasn't won many. I think 3 and 15 or something like that.
Something like that. I think 2 Prem wins or so, 2 or 3 Prem wins.
Something dead, but I feel like that's what Arsenal fans will be clinging on to.
There's a clear difference between him and Emery. There's more of a, for me personally, there's more of a philosophy and a style of play. Their approach play, they're looking to get on the front foot. Between Emery was always looking to defend first, then take it, but he's just looking to take the game. But a bit more talent, and a bit more quality in and around the team than.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, they're sitting pretty, I was going to say comfortable in 9th, but they're not even really comfortable. Like, the teams in 10th, 11th, and 12th are all just within one win of kind of going past them, well, apart from Everton because of goal difference. So they're kind of firmly wedged in that kind of mid-table slot at the moment. I think the rest of the season for them really is trying to go as far as they can in the Europa League. If they can maybe get a semi-final berth again, but there's some decent teams that have come down, so go as far as they can in the Europa League. And then, this is an opportunity for Arteta to see who fits in, who doesn't fit in, sell some players, lower the wage bill, get a bit of money in, and then summer he actually starts to, buy some players and, try and go forward from there. Cool. I think that was short and sweet. Arsenal fans can't complain.
They can't. We gave Arteta his dues.
They're doing their thing, Cool. So, on to another team, Manchester United. 3-0 at home.
Why are you
9 a.m.
smiling like this?
I'm not smiling at all.
It's 9 a.m.
Well, you can say. It's 9
It's 9
I
a.m.
mean, if you want to say it's
Get
9 a.m., I'm not
out
going
of
to
here,
argue
bro.
with you.
He done a madness for the goal.
That goal was alright.
You liked it, yeah? You liked it? No, did you like it? Did you like it or not? Did you like it? You liked it?
Decent.
You liked
It was
it?
alright.
yeah?
He done it.
I don't want to shake my hand.
Shake
For the record, nobody wants to shake my hand.
He done a little crave and that. Yeah.
He's got a little something to him. So obviously,
finesse about him.
he grabbed the goal. Bruno got a penalty, and obviously, the only star boy in the Prem at the moment, Greenwood, got a nice little goal to make it 3-0.
Shut up, bro.
Obviously, everyone's been reading the news, listening to last week's pod. With everything that's going on around City, stinks. Everything going on around City, it looks like 5th place is gonna
Up for
get
grabs, yeah.
are going to get a Champions League spot. So obviously we're there now, but obviously we've got Spurs on our heels. We've got Sheffield United on our heels.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, so it's going to be an intense battle. Going in, to be honest with you, I thought we were going to win, which is, I mean, maybe that's the sign of the time. But obviously, as you guys are well aware, we aren't fans of Oli over here at
Do you
Make United Great Again headquarters.
I hear that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think Fernandes is like
He looks
one of the reasons why you might be a little bit more confident in terms of going into these games? Because I feel like a lot of what he did on Monday against Chelsea was, I'd say it was quite positive. More like there was more positives than negatives anyway.
You have to remember,
And
the
then-
thing is, yeah, he looks decent, but you have to remember the bar is low.
No, I hear that.
So when you're comparing him on the pitch, you're comparing him to guys who aren't
McTominay
good.
and- yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
A washed-up Matic,
Yeah.
Fred, who for me has been decent, to be fair to him, this second team,
He's
he's
been
been
good,
decent.
yeah.
But because the fans are so used to that low bar of quality now, even Fred's performances have been gassed up like he's performing like a top midfielder. So obviously he's got ability about him. I don't think you get the stats that he was getting in Portugal if you don't have something about you. So the question is how he's going to slot into the team and the qualities that he's bringing into the team. So he is already aware of the fact that he's playing with players who aren't very talented. So you can see in the way he plays, and he takes a lot more risks with his passing. So his stats may not necessarily pop out of the page, but you can see when he comes in, he's trying to inject tempo. He's trying to find players in between the lines. And those are the qualities that we need. He did it against Club Brugge, but you'd expect him to do it at that level. And again, today he was decent. He
He come off the bench as well against Bruges.
Yeah, like to be fair, Bruges were probably the better side for the majority of the game. And that like 10-15 minutes Belly came on, we were kind of firmly in their kind of final third of the pitch. And yeah, that's when we looked the brightest. So now what we're looking for is our players to start coming back. Pogba's back in training now. So looking for him and Pogba to start playing together, linking up a bit.
Nice.
Rashford, the news is saying that he may not even go to the Euros at this point.
No point risking it.
Yeah, he may not even go to the Euros at this point. So I think it's between those two plus Martial and Greenwood when Oli actually uses him to see how far he can get us. I think for that top five spot, for that top 5 spot, I think we're firmly in the driver's seat. We've got a pretty decent run of games. I think we've got Leicester. We've got Leicester away, which is going to be tough.
Your run of games is not decent.
Is it? Who've we got? So you've checked. All right.
I'm gonna lie to you.
No.
I was scrolling today, and
no.
I see Tottenham, City.
Tottenham are dead. Go on.
Whoa.
Tottenham are
What's going
dead.
on? Yeah, I know,
no,
but-
Spurs are dead. Now we don't fear them. But
No,
keep
but
going.
but they're with you
No,
in the same
let me tell you who
category
we've got.
right now.
So away at Everton, at home against City, away at Spurs.
What is going on here? What is going on here?
No, at home against Sheffield United, away against Brighton and Hove, at home against Bournemouth, away against Villa, at home against Southampton, away against Palace, at home against West Ham, and last game of the season is away against Leicester. I think that's a decent run of games.
After the 3 that you play,
What 3?
away against Everton, home
Away
against
against, I'm not
City.
scared of Everton or Spurs, to be honest with you.
This is what I'm.
Spurs were at home.
Is this what Fernandes?
Have Everton impressed you?
No, I don't think they've impressed me. But
Yeah.
they were, apart from today.
Yeah.
They were on a little resurgence in terms of their.
Okay,
fixtures.
let's-
I'm pretty sure.
No,
they were
well,
in the
pull those up as
So-
well, bro. We pull
so-
up everything around here.
So I think I don't know. I feel like they will give you a problem. I don't think it's going to be one of them. It won't be as easy as today was.
No, I don't think it's going to be as easy as today was. But what I basically mean when I say decent run of games is when you're looking at your run of fixtures, at time in the season, you could just be L.
Yeah,
L,
no, I hear you.
L,
I hear you.
L,
Yeah,
L,
yeah,
L.
yeah, yeah.
I'm looking at those games, and really, apart from City, I'm not looking at it and immediately thinking L.
Yeah.
I'm thinking every other game we've got a decent chance of winning it.
To be fair,
obviously,
your
what
big
actually
game-
what ends up happening on the pitch.
Will happen. But the big games, to be fair to you,
Of when we've
like,
been a better side.
I was gonna
better.
say
Yeah,
those
yeah,
first few
first-
games probably suit you more than the other
The
games.
other ones where we have to
fair.
break down the
Yeah,
tight
so-
teams.
so-
Obviously, by then you probably want your Pogba's back because then obviously with Pogba, Bruno, Martial,
Easier to break
you've
down
got a
teams.
bit more quality
Yeah.
to break these teams down. But I think for us to get that top 5 spot, it's a decent run. And if Leicester ain't careful, they'll get dragged into it too.
To
Like,
be honest, I think they're gonna get dragged into it. Anyway.
Yeah?
Yeah. To be
So what
fair.
you think you're clearing them? Are you in it? So are they're gonna get dragged into it?
We're
Are
in this.
you
We're in this as well.
You're in it, yeah. You're
We're
in it
in
to
this
win it.
madness as
Yeah.
well. We're definitely in this
So how many
madness.
points are you away from Leicester?
We're 6 points away from Leicester.
Yeah.
But I feel like with Man United,
But you don't even see that far down the table anymore, do you?
I'm too high up in the
I
sky.
feel like with Man United, where they have obviously they beat us
Yeah.
and now they won against they beat no, you drew against Bruges, didn't you? But then obviously won today.
Yeah.
So the big games, like I said, have been positive for them throughout the season. That's been the pattern, innit? They've been getting 3 points in them games. To be honest, I don't think they will beat City, but I can see Tottenham, obviously, that could easily go United's way, and obviously Everton. So then he's right. You're looking, after that, you're looking at possibly a little run going.
Possibly. Obviously,
Yeah.
it's Man U. We're not that good, so
So
you won't get
you
carried
never
away
know.
and say,
You never know.
yeah,
You got 7 points from your next 9.
Because
Next nine
Martial's
available,
another one, innit? I think Martial, I'm not too sure.
He's turning up right now.
But when I've listened to the pod, I've heard you lot talk about Martial a lot and saying that,
Yeah.
you know, he'll do this here and there, but not
not
consistent
consistent.
enough. Exactly,
Words,
not consistent
words.
enough. So if he might do this, like even that goal today, you won't see that now again for like another, probably
What?
10 games or
I thought
something
you
like
were
that.
finished
2-3
the
games.
first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. You robbed Bruno of an assist.
Yeah, I think it's
Like,
finished
you
that,
should be looking to
finished
slot that first
slot
one.
Yeah,
first
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Yeah,
just
keeper's
a
legs,
little
you know.
quick
Because
one.
it's not a secret that he's got ability. Like, we all know he
We all
can
know
do
that.
that.
Yeah,
but,
yeah, yeah.
but it's the consistency.
Yeah,
And with
yeah.
Rashford being out,
Which is
you
even more
just
greater onus.
yeah.
on you.
But the positive is as well. I do think we need to talk about Greenwood because he was not even really talked about at the beginning of the season. Nobody was really thinking about Greenwood coming in to be
I like him, man.
you know,
He's
to
a
have
bad
the
boy
effect
still.
that he's had this season. And I
He's
think
a bad
he's
boy.
Limited
taking
minutes as
advantage.
well.
He's a bad
Yeah,
boy
limited
still.
minutes. I think he's taking advantage of getting his minutes in Europa as well.
Build the
I think
confidence
he's
up.
had a few League Cup games as well. stuff like
Yeah,
that.
he's built his confidence up. I think he's got. Let me just confirm, but he's definitely like.
Is he in double figures?
No, he's past double figures. He had
Really?
10 a few weeks ago, so I think for this season now
that
he
was
might.
still, man.
He might
And
be
you'd have to
close
be
15.
because you'd have to be fair because like even when I was watching last year and we was in Europa, that's where I was looking for Hudson to make his
Turn
mark
up
in,
and
which
that,
he
yeah.
did, and to see Greenwood. Obviously, Greenwood's bagging goals, but he's a striker, so
Yeah.
I think he's doing his job, bro.
he's
At
got
the end of the
11
day,
in
he's given
33,
he's
yeah.
given Ollie something to think
At
about.
17.
Yeah.
He's giving Ollie something to think about because I think a lot of people would rather see Greenwood on the pitch right now than James, if I'm being honest. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's not any secret.
That's not a secret
open.
at all.
That's
Yeah,
open.
exactly. So I feel like Greenwood, boy, might even be a little wild card for the Euros, bro.
Yeah,
Never
yeah.
know.
Maybe,
I can see him doing that.
A little.
Maybe I think that might be a
More
bit
of
fast.
listen, if they could take Theo on the plane for no reason,
Yeah,
and have
that's
him
what I
sitting
can
on
see him
bench,
doing.
yeah, they can
But-
take Greenwood.
See, Southgate though, he tends to have his favourite. So like Mount is going.
100.
Barkley, you know the man like
100.
Barkley, the man like
Yeah,
Barkley
100.
rubbing his hands together.
Because them man
Big
know
man,
that.
don't worry about my Chelsea appearance.
Yeah.
I will be on that plane. I will be on that
He knows
plane.
what I do.
You got Maddison and Grealish like balling out, and they're not even
Grealish,
sure.
yeah, yeah,
They're not sure if
yeah,
they're going.
yeah.
Grealish probably
This
won't
man
go on the
Grealish
plane. You
won't
got
go.
Mason. Man are calling him Mason mid.
But hey, listen,
No, we'll get.
we'll
We'll
get
to
it.
that.
Yeah,
touch
yeah,
on
we'll
that.
get to it. We'll get to it. We'll get
Look
to
like
it.
they're gonna be shoo-ins to get on that.
Yeah,
But,
we'll get to it.
Yeah, without further ado, obviously you lot had a big game.
Massive.
The
game.
special one came back
He did.
to the stadium that he built. You sent him home with an L. It was
Sent him
quite a
home,
highly contentious game actually. There's quite a bit of
Yeah.
quite a bit of moments within the game. Firstly, what did you think of the performance?
Generally, I think the performance was a very good one.
Okay.
In terms of changing the formation, I think Lampard got the team selection
Isn't
right.
that his go-to for like big games?
It kind of looked like that, you know, like he done it against
What's the shape?
Wolves. He done it.
4-2-3-1, yeah?
No,
three
this
at
was
the
a
back.
3-4-3.
back,
So
okay.
it was a 3-4-3. But what he does is he has Barkley and Mason just behind Giroud,
Okay.
but more central. So instead of like instead of your wide players kind of playing in behind Giroud, it suited him much more because he had two players that
play
were
off of,
willing to
play off,
run
yeah,
centrally as well, which Mount has been doing a lot when he's played kind of like a second striker role with Tammy, but that hasn't worked so much. But generally for Lampard, I think the team selection was a big thing, and I feel like it was good to see him get that right because that's where I feel like a lot of Chelsea fans we've had questions about his team selections, isn't it? Okay. Because I feel like he chops and changes a lot at the back. He sticks with players in certain positions when sometimes he probably should look at changing it.
Name names.
So first one we'll talk about him. We were just talking about him with Mason Mount. Yeah. And I feel like with Mason Mount, he's forced that second striker role a lot. So some will say he's playing 10, but a lot of the Chelsea fans that watch Chelsea like week in, week out will know that he's not playing a number 10 role. He's actually playing a second striker role. Yeah, he's literally right up close to Tammy. Yeah. And every single time you see Mount, I don't know if anybody else notices it, but it looks like he's always running away from play. Yeah. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? That's what it looks like. Yeah. When he plays in that position, that's what it looks like. I'm not saying that's generally what he does as a player, but whether it be manager instructions or just the way Lampard wants him to play in general, like in terms of like constantly running in behind. That's what he's been doing of recent. And then on top of that, he's also been fatigued. I feel like he's been overplayed. Yeah. So he had the winter break. He had a nice little rest. He's come back, but the two games he's already played, not been in that position. So he came on against Man United. Obviously, Kante got injured, and where obviously Kante does a lot of he does do a lot of defensive work for us as well. And I think we didn't see enough of him against United, so I don't know what role he was going to play that day. But Mason Mount came in and he was involved with a lot of play deep in midfield. He started from deep. He was getting the ball. He was popping it off with Kovacic and Jorginho, who had a very good game as well for me. I feel like they were in control. And then he went on from there and he was involved with a lot of good stuff that happened on Monday. And then on Saturday against Tottenham, I feel like his role in behind Giroud was perfect for him in terms of he could get involved with the midfielders in terms of pick up the ball from Jorginho and Kovacic, who were playing that double pivot in the middle, And then
so is that his best role then, like advanced number 8?
I think so. I think it is, and I think when he's involved in build-up play, and he's got the option to go and make them runs as well, and kind of link up with a target man. I think that's where he has looked. He has looked like he has looked very dangerous. So for me, Mason Mount last 2 games has been probably our best player.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's between him and Kovacic in terms of who our best player has been in the last 2 games. And yeah, I think now Kante getting injured, I feel like Lampard's probably going to stick with Jorginho and Kovacic.
Kovacic has played well this season.
Yeah, and the thing is with that, I spoke about one of the things that's been important for Chelsea, like going throughout the season, and I feel like it's partnerships. And when we went on our seven game run, we had Tomori and Zuma at the back. We had Kovacic and Jorginho in the middle.
That 7 game run, what was the results?
It was 7 wins, innit, on the bounce.
Oh, okay.
So it was. I think the fixtures were favourable as well.
But they beat Wolves 5-2.
But I also feel like the fact that Jorginho and Kovacic were gaining more and more of an understanding.
Oh, was it that when you lot were trying to call them like the best midfield pairing in Europe
at the time? At that
segment of the
season.
In those 7 games, they were the best midfield pairing in Europe. So before and since
cool. To be fair, I wasn't one of them. Yeah, because I feel like we can still get. I think we can do.
We know what his strengths are. We know what.
I've spoken about this already, so I'm gonna allow him for today.
Yeah,
but generally they play well together, and they did against Tottenham. They controlled the play again. I was actually looking at their midfield, thinking that we might lose that battle because Ndombele, if he turns up, he's a problem. But obviously, Jose's not really feeling him though.
He's looking hefty though.
Yeah,
he's looking hefty. He's not
sharp.
Fit.
But a lot of people say Ndombele, like you said, if he turns up, I ain't really seen nothing.
Fair.
I've seen a couple drop of the shoulders and that.
Yeah.
No, but don't look at me like that.
No, obviously you're drawing out midfielders. I was gonna draw out a certain man, but I allow it. Nah, it's cool. It's cool.
He's been injured.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't know. You're
I know not who you speak of.
That's my go-to. He's been injured. He's been injured.
Listen, with Spurs, I feel like I looked at that midfield and I thought, you know what, they've got some decent ball players in there. They might be able to kind of win the midfield over. But straight away, what was weird is they kind of just gave it to us from the get-go. Like straight away, I see Jorginho and Kovacic on the ball. And as soon as you start letting them pop it about,
they'll start popping it about.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think that's when Mason started dropping in, getting onto the ball. and then he was feeding it into Giroud. Giroud had a lot of like nice touches. Who probably as
What
well.
do you think? What do you think of Giroud? Because obviously Tammy's your main man. He's injured and he's coming back.
Yeah.
You had Mitchie against us. And Giroud, I think when he came on was
Straight away, yeah.
brighter than Mitchie, and then obviously Mitchie's Giroud grabbed the goal against Spurs. Where do you stand on that debate about who should be Chelsea's second striker? Because obviously certain members of the Chelsea Hour family, mainly Meads and Dan, are big Mitchie fans and feel like he hasn't got a chance. And
I don't feel like that, but I think this gets like misunderstood. I don't think that they're big Mishi fans in a way where they feel like Mishi should start. I think they see it. No, but I think they see a lot of qualities in Mishi, and I think when he gets criticised, I feel like they feel he gets unfairly criticised. Okay. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, so people are judging him off 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. I think for any player that's unfair. Do you understand? It's like Ndombele now. We're saying, he don't look that great.
Yeah.
But Ndombele coming in here and there. He's coming in for 10 minutes here, 10 minutes. So I feel like consistency.
But the game's a game.
But games are games, not fair.
The game is a game.
And I will say as well, Mishi has had enough bad games for people to also say,
of course,
yeah, he's not that great. So I've got no problem with that. But my thing is with Giroud, I feel like his minutes have probably been mismanaged by Lampard in terms of Lampard hasn't tried to keep him fresh.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
So,
like he's just thrown him in there.
Devil's advocate.
Yeah.
You've just mentioned that he hasn't gotten the minutes to keep fresh, but when he's gotten on the pitch, he's been markedly better than someone who's definitely played more than him in Michy Batshuayi. Do you understand? They're coming from the same sort of, all right, they're not getting enough minutes, but it's clear that one player is grabbing both opportunities by the hand and one isn't. So what would you put that down to? That can't just be, luck. Or bad luck, as they would have it.
No, true.
Yeah.
That's a fair point as well. But I also feel, I feel like Lampard's only going with Michy because I think he looks at Michy and he feels like that's the striker to go with to stick to the style that he's trying to play. Do you see what I'm saying?
The team has to play different if it's Giroud.
Yeah, so straight away the team has to play different. And if you look as well, like against Tottenham, we changed the whole formation. So if Giroud comes in, do we go to a 3-4-3 now?
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay.
And then that now means, you got like, you now put Marcus Alonso in, who, cool, he scored a banger, but I'll tell you for free, I am not a fan of Marcus Alonso, innit? I feel like he's one of the worst players we have, especially when it comes to being in possession of the ball, making mistakes. Like, even the game against you guys, I think like he was culprit for like both of the mistakes.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? 2 goals out of nothing. A game that we shouldn't have really lost. You see what I'm saying?
Well, that's debatable.
Yeah, it could be debatable, but yeah. But that's what I'm trying to say. So I think you have to change a lot if you also want to get Giroud into the team. I don't think you can just play the normal 4-2-3-1. I don't think you can play 4-3-3. I feel like looking at that Tottenham game, if we were to go into Bayern if we were to go and play Bayern, obviously we're going to go play them on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We go into Bayern now. Do we go back to a 4-2-3-1 and play Giroud up top? Or do we still keep 3-4-3? Do you see what I'm saying? So that's also a thing that Lampard's thinking about, because Lampard's got his own formation that he wants to kind of get across.
So that's the thing. You're only as good as your last result, innit? So you might as well just...
And the last 2 games, to be fair, Giroud has played well. So I think Giroud has deserved the start over Tammy, because I don't think Tammy's all-round performances have been good enough to also say you're automatically a starter. Because you're just going by goals. And when you start going by stats... Exactly. But
give it some context.
But listen to this though. A lot of his goals came in that little period he had when he was kind of like finding some form.
He's got a bit of a flat track bully rep. 2020 Lukaku rep.
I don't know. Kind of, maybe.
See, obviously,
first season.
Arsenal, innit?
But who doesn't?
First season.
He doesn't score against Arsenal.
It's
Obviously,
true,
yeah. But you know how it goes. You clear one hurdle, they're gonna put another hurdle in front of you.
It's true.
Until you clear that next hurdle, they're on it for that.
To be honest, window comes, I want Dembele in it. So
from Leon.
Yeah.
Do you think he's
window
much,
comes?
Do you think he's much better than Tammy?
100%.
Is he better than Batshuayi?
100%. Like he's better.
But how highly do you rate him?
No, I feel like he's good enough to get me 20 goals in a season.
20 league goals.
20 league goals in a season.
Okay.
Dembele's getting that. In terms of the chances that Chelsea are creating,
Tammy has how many now?
Tammy has 15 all comps, 13 in the
13 league first season. He's
That's
one of
decent.
your own.
He is, yeah.
Doesn't that count for something to you?
Yeah.
As in, no, I'm asking questions.
No, I hear that. I hear he's one of our own, but at the same
that
time,
means he bleeds for the shirt.
yeah. But I also look at Tammy and I look at like
for the shed.
who's he learning from though in terms of strikers as well.
That is true.
Like, who's he learning from? Who's he learning from?
Nobody.
Really, in terms of the way he plays.
Yeah, we can't learn.
He ain't
We can't learn from Dembele. Like him and Dembele same age.
No, but I feel like
Same
them. But even though he can't learn from Dembele, actually I think he probably could. To be honest with you, I think Dembele's movement's better. I also think his finishing's better. So in terms of learning from Dembele, just because he's 23, don't mean you can't learn from him. I feel like Dembele is probably a much better all-round striker than Tammy is. If you look at Tammy, yeah, I'll tell you this from now. Tell me this from now, yeah. You're trying to tell me Tammy's footwork is up there in terms of.
No, I don't think his footwork.
Do you think his hold-up play is up there?
No.
Do you think, all right, in terms of his finishing, a lot of people have said he's missed a lot of big chances this season.
Yeah,
so is he
listen,
clinical?
No, but the thing, no, he's not clinical. But that's something that tends to come with age for strikers. And remember, again, the list of players who've missed the most big chances is the same list of players who are at the top in terms of who've scored the most goals. They go hand in hand. So I wouldn't necessarily hold that against it. Put into context, this is his first season at this level.
No, I hear that.
So this is the start of his development. How does he? 21, 22?
Yeah.
21, 22 years old. I would give him another season as your main man. Give him 2 solid years of it, and if you get to the end of that and you're like, you know what, he might not be it then, because now Dembele comes in, that affects Tammy's development.
Yeah, but
affects Tammy's development. Do you think, if he develops well, or do you think it's out of the imagination or the stretch of the imagination for him to be good enough to be your starting striker?
No, it's not. It's not. But at the same time, yeah, you look at the Chelsea's position in terms of what they're in, yeah. So we were out of competing last year.
Yeah.
We weren't competing last year. We weren't competing this year.
Yeah.
So now Chelsea are going to be looking to compete next year.
Yeah.
As wild as it might sound, they're going to be looking to compete next year.
I don't
They've
think
already
that's
signed.
wild.
They've already signed Ziyech. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're looking. The talks are heavy on trying to sign Sancho.
Yeah.
They're not going to do this, yeah, to then go into the season and have a striker that may possibly underperform after investing.
But my thing
in those players.
So my thing is, I don't think Dembele is that guy. Honestly, I don't think there's too much fight between Tammy and Dembele.
Yeah.
I don't see like if you were going for like someone like Icardi, I hear what you're saying. Like, boom, proven, and he can bang goals. But someone like Dembele, he done it in Celtic, fair. Leon, he's not really pulling up trees. You know what I'm saying? Because certain strikers who are pulling up trees, but
I don't know. Maybe it's because of how much we probably watch each other's clubs. To be fair, but from what I've seen in terms of Tammy, there is a lot of improvement there, and the same worries I had at the beginning are still there.
Cool, but
my thing is, yeah, in terms of what he's got to improve, I feel like there's too many areas that he has to improve for him to become that guy. I was looking at Diego Costa's numbers today for Chelsea. In both title-winning seasons, yeah, he scored 20 goals in 26 appearances and 20 goals in 35 appearances.
Patchy though. Patchy as well.
Patchy, but missed 7 big chances.
Yeah.
Missed 12 big chances.
Okay.
Tammy's already missed 17.
Yeah, but you're talking about Costa in his prime. You see what he's doing now?
No, I hear that, but
stinking. Man are stinking out here.
I hear that, but there's age guarantee. But there's age guarantee improvement as well. Just because Tammy's 21, does that mean that it's 100% going to improve?
It's not 100% going to improve. But let's put everything together. The body of work that we have in terms of the data we collect about footballers, there's a correlation between experience and improvement. Yeah. That goes without saying.
100.
That goes without saying. I think you are where you are on Tammy. I think he doesn't necessarily need to be the player to improve. Look what he's got around him. You got Willian. You got Pulisic.
Yeah, I said that.
You got Hudson-Odoi. Yeah. None of them man are doing.
I've mentioned that previously.
So if you
5, 4, and 1.
You make that's
the goal.
And you make that Sancho, and Abraham improves a bit more from what he's done this season. That could be enough. But again, I'd want to give him that opportunity. How much is Moussa Dembele going to cost you? What, 70, 80 million?
If you want him so much, you might as well sign him. You need a striker
we
anyway.
good. We nice, boy. We
sure?
nice. Yeah, we good, boy. We got Greenwood, we got Martial, and we got Rashford still. And Uncle Igalo. Are you mad?
That's what I wanted you to say first. That's what I wanted you to say first, but you landed with Greenwood.
You're not getting back against you, look. If he back against you,
that's what you're going to get. That's what you're going to get. That's what you get when you sign guys from China.
So you not getting Dembele, I don't think that's counterproductive for me.
I don't know. We'll see. I feel like we definitely need a striker anyway. So, and I don't think Chelsea are going to go for £100 million striker. No. So they are going to go in and around that kind of like, in terms of the amount that they're going to spend. I think that's the player that they're going to get. They're going to get like a Dembele. Werner, even though he's got that clause, it looks like he's hell-bent on going to Liverpool, if I'm being honest. So I think the other ones out there, you've probably got the Celtic striker as well, Edouard, who's looking all right. So, but I think that you're all going to have, like, people are going to have same kind of views. Oh, I don't know if Edouard's going to be that guy. I don't know if Dembele's going to be that guy. Even Werner to an extent. I watch the Bundesliga and I say to myself, you know what? These men are running, like, it's like playground football out there. Do you know, Haaland's, come on, man. Like, the guy's just banging goals fun, but he is a quality player.
I'm saying, like, the highlight of defensive, like, it's mad, like, there's no defensive structure.
But all in all, good performance, and I think just another shout for probably Reece James in terms of
how was you think? I thought it was decent.
It was
decent.
I think people.
At best.
I said this as well. I think people are saying this because they're too busy trying to look at his attacking side of his game, forgetting that the guy can actually defend. And
sometimes,
in terms of
a lot of times teams target his side though.
No, but I feel like that's also because we try to get forward mainly on his side, so they naturally are gonna. It's like they. I don't think people always target Trent because they think Trent's a bad defender. I think they also.
I think that's why they target him.
I think they also target.
That's why they target him.
I think they also target that side because they know that Trent is going to be high.
Yeah, but also you get stripped, you get skinned.
He does. He does. He's a worse defender than Reece James. But
yeah, I mean the bar's low. The bar's low. But okay, that's Chelsea. Let's talk about your opposition. So Spurs. They lost midweek against Leipzig at home 1-0, and then they've lost again against you lot. They brought in a new manager. I mean, one of the most experienced managers in the game, one of the best CVs in the game. Apart from the highlight moments in press conferences, again, I'll use Ellis's phrase, they're not really pulling up trees. What have you thought of them since he's come in, Ellis?
Well, when they started, I thought, when he first came, I thought that he's going to make them solid. He's going to rejuvenate the team. He's going to get certain players better.
That new manager bounce, yeah?
Literally. Came, I think he had the most points apart from City and Liverpool. He collected the most points. But it's like, free Mourinho in year one already. He's cut his hair. I'm waiting for the gilet to come. I'm waiting for the phrases to come. Because he looks frustrated, he looks out of depth. Against Chelsea, I thought him going with Moura and Bergman up front, it didn't make no sense to me. Because the ball kept on coming back to them. There was no one to hold it up for them. I think if they had a central attacker there, obviously Kane's injured, but if they had someone like Kane's Son's
injured as well.
But he's not got much options, to be fair.
Yeah, he hasn't,
but even when he had these guys, they didn't look too bright either. Obviously, he's known for his defensive management, first and foremost. They've been shaky at the back since he's came in. They haven't improved defensively.
At all. And I know a lot of people made a comment of he allows teams to get onto him. Like, brother, you haven't got Carvalho, you haven't got Terry, you haven't got Makelele anymore. You understand? You haven't got these players, so you've got to brighten up a bit. So a team like Tottenham, you expect them to take the game on a front foot, but he hasn't. He's just there. They look really sloppy, really slow.
It's weird for me because, like, when I first saw the appointment of Jose Mourinho for Spurs, I thought to myself, this might be like a perfect team for him in terms of a lot of finished articles,
profiles,
articles, and
athletes,
a lot of Jose players.
Experience,
you got the Sissoko, you got the even Ndombele. If he'd have used him right, I think.
You got the Canes, you got the Ali,
you got a striker that's banging 20 to 30 goals a season. You got Son, that's a winger that's banging goals.
Like, I thought Ali was gonna just rip it up.
Yeah, and like when I looked at like our 04-05 team when Jose was there, and a lot of those players, they weren't hammering in goals like that. Like Robin wasn't a 20-goal winger. Neither was Damien Duff, but they did their jobs, and that's what I thought he had with Son, Tottenham. I think Son, he does his job more often than not. You've got Moura, who's always willing to work for the team, and he brings a bit of magic here and there. And then obviously you've got Kane, like we said. But like it just seems like, I don't know, his style of play looks like it's maybe a bit outdated in terms of he's not trying to change anything. He's just literally gone from doing what he was doing with Man United to what he's doing with Spurs. But the only thing is he's hoping that he's got more quality so the results are different. But what you're seeing is people are clocking on to what Jose's doing, and they're getting at Spurs. And I also feel like where I thought they were finished articles, I think some of them are even declining.
Name names.
I think Alderweireld isn't as good as he
that back
was.
two looks shaky,
bro.
Sanchez probably looks the best of the bunch, and that's saying something.
That is crazy. Maybe even Tanganga.
Maybe even Tanganga. The name is mad.
Hey, listen.
I mean, my name's Mariah, so I
I'm
can't talk
surprised
too
I got
much.
it right. I'm surprised I got it right. Tanganga's out here doing right wing back, right back, centre back.
Do you know how bad it is looking at a 6'1" hefty defender doing a right wing back?
It's crazy. Like, you see the accidental touch he took that almost took it into the goal. What was that? If this goes in, I was gonna lose it. I was like, what? Accidental touches and that going into the net. I see Caballero running
But
back.
that touch was heavy.
Slow-mo. I was like, nah, bruh.
It's a mess
Like, if
over
that
there.
goes in.
So what do you think? What we're saying that Jose's best days are firmly behind him now. Yeah,
I think so.
Yes.
I
Yeah?
think so. And to be fair, he hasn't had a bad career in it, so I don't really feel too sorry for him, to be honest. But like, I don't know what he's gonna do for
What's
me.
it
I
mean
think
for Spurs though? Because obviously he wants more investment. He wants more investment.
And this is what
they've backed him somewhat.
Exactly, yeah.
And yeah, I guess, boy.
I think the only
I think
bright spark is the Celso, really. I think the Celso looks a baller, but he's probably made the wrong choice in going Spurs.
Yeah.
So
Obviously, his boy was there with it, so he thought, yeah, fam, I'm coming
Pochettino,
in,
yeah,
I
yeah.
see he's had a rave, then his boy left the rave early, then it's like, right.
it's looking a bit peak for him, I'm not going to lie.
So,
Looking a bit peak. Daniel Levy's not really one to go to the Louis store and that, so
Boy,
a bit
man.
mad. He's all
Sports
in.
direct.
TK Maxx.
TK Maxx.
TK Maxx.
TK Maxx.
Yeah, you find a
You
few
get a
gems
lot
in
of
there.
Catch him with the
gems in
outlets.
Yeah, cool.
Find a few gems.
Ellis, like I said before the pod started, I think this is probably the first pod this season where you've come on after a Liverpool L.
Yeah, man.
Tough game.
Really tough.
Wanda Metropolitano with Atletico. What did you think of the performance?
It was fam, my head's gone. No, so basically we got into game. I knew
You say that, but all the guys on Cop End, when the game was going on, were just tweeting like, "Boy, come, we'll catch you at Anfield."
Yeah, I know.
We'll catch you outside. So obviously you lot
Catch you
have got
outside.
that confidence
Got
in
that
yourself
belief,
that
we can do
They're
it.
gonna turn it around.
the lights are off outside, but the lights are on in Anfield. You're getting it. Like, you're getting it. So they're not even scared. Like you're not scared. Really.
Like, we knew that was going to be a tough game because we know what Atleti are about. Lucky they got the goal, and once they got the goal, it was just sharp, and they've done it really well. I think we played into their hands. We didn't move the ball quick enough. We didn't look to make incisive passes. I thought we was gonna spam them with crosses. We didn't even try that.
Well, they love it though. You see them like in their training, like you got guys just jumping onto mats,
Fam.
like just practicing their diving.
But the thing
Maybe
is-
other teams do it, but I ain't never seen it.
Well, we
So
didn't
the guys are
give them the opportunity
practicing
to
their
do
diving
it.
headers.
Listen, Simeone's a nasty
Fam,
you know.
he was playing to the crowd. He's a villain.
How did you not play though?
I called him a villain.
How did we didn't really. It wasn't too bright, fam. It wasn't too bright. We didn't move the ball. We looked lethargic. Like I said before, we didn't move the ball quick enough. And I think when you play against teams like that, deep low block, you need to move the ball quick. That's where obviously your Barca's and your Man City's.
Yeah.
That's why
Is that somewhat the weakness within your team comes out?
No,
The lack of ingenuity in the midfield.
that's where that's the weakness. But like moving the ball quickly, we usually do that well. Like moving it, then how Trent always got space somehow because we get it to him quickly.
Yeah.
But the ingenuity, maybe we haven't got like a techie midfielder. We know everyone knows about Liverpool. We know how we.
Keita, no?
He didn't play.
All right.
But he should.
That's what he was brought in for, no?
It was, yeah, it was. I'm not too sure why he didn't come on.
Was he on the bench?
He was on the bench.
Mad.
Yeah. He was on the bench. I'm not too sure why he didn't come on.
It's not good, maybe.
Nah, he's a baller,
Obviously, the
man.
manager.
He's a baller,
He's an
man.
accomplished
Maybe
manager.
it wasn't.
No, because obviously, let me just play devil's advocate. So, you're playing a game against a legendary deep block team. There's an inability to find those little pockets of spaces.
Well,
And you have how much? £60 million? £60 million.
52.
Round it off.
Yeah, let's round it up.
Let's
So,
round
okay,
it.
50 then.
I didn't say round it up.
Nah, you can't round it up. 5, you round it up. After the 5, you round it up.
You've got a £60 million midfielder who's been supposedly brought in to do just that, and he's not getting on the pitch. This is almost 2 years into his tenure. So, what do you think?
This guy is sick.
Because obviously I'm scared. How was Salah? How was Mane? Because a lot of the time Mane would just do it himself.
Yeah,
Mane would
came
just
off-
be. Yeah, Mane
Mane
would
came
just
off.
do-
He came off at half time, fam.
Okay.
Or injured.
Nah, but he got a yellow card and Klopp was like, nah, these men are going to get you sent off. Because like,
Ah,
any given, so
yeah,
you know,
yeah,
Mane,
dropping,
They were
rolling on the
playing,
floor.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Playing to the
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they said, nah, you know, I
Theatrics
can't
and
take that risk. Came off. Salah got hooked as well.
Wow.
Wasn't one of his best games. It was a hard game, man.
To be fair, there's not a lot of green to run into when you play Atletico, to be honest. But
Listen, them man are good at what they do. I can't really, but obviously like, people want to say, oh yeah, they low block, fam. That's what they do.
but
That's
zero
what they're good at.
shots. Yeah,
Yeah, on target, fam. It was like they congested the middle. So one would have thought, like, give it to Trent. Even Trent's delivery was really bad. His best cross, 93rd minute on his left foot.
Was Hendo playing?
Hendo come off. And he'll come off.
He's injured, isn't he?
Yeah.
How long's he out for?
Hamstring, they're saying 3 weeks.
3 weeks. So obviously I'm sure you've read the Player of the Year shouts.
Yeah.
Firstly, where do you stand on that in
Van
regards
Dijk.
to him? So you don't think it's you don't Henderson?
He played well from like December. He's done his thing. He's done his job, but he's not Player of the Year. For me.
Not Player of the Year.
VVD or Mane.
Yeah, VVD or Mane.
Apparently, the Atletico guys gave Fabinho a bad day. That's what the streets were saying.
Yeah, Streets were trying to.
Party was rushing him.
Streets were trying to say that, but Party done his thing. Party, he was. I don't know about rushing it. He done his job too. He held it up.
Fabinho did his job.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he held it up. Yeah.
Alright, cool.
Party.
I see a lot of man calling for Party afterwards.
No,
as well.
he's
I
was
was
powerful.
calling for party before still.
It's like a young SEM.
Party time. Was I gonna say?
my fellow Ghanaian out here, doing his job.
He's a
Well
good
done,
player,
son.
man. I've got time for him.
Cool. Do you expect, obviously, you've got West Ham tomorrow, do you expect to fall off a little bit without Henderson? Or do you expect the machine to keep
Yeah, I
moving?
expect the machine to carry on moving.
Cool. So it's 5 more games?
Yeah, 50 more points to win the title.
League's done, innit?
How many games do you think it's going to take you to get those 15 points? Stick your neck out.
5, man. If I were a
I like
machine,
that.
fam.
I like that.
You see
I
the
like
fire?
that.
You see the fire in my eye?
I like that. Man's focused.
You can't- everything we've seen,
He's
so
saying-
everything we've seen supports it. So you can't really. Are you going to go up
Nah.
to Liverpool? Are you going to go up for the parade?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the lads, the
Sunday,
poppin'
man.
lads. Yeah.
Might as well. Fuck
Yeah.
it.
Cool.
What do you think about the unbeaten shout?
We could do it, man, but I don't know. It depends when we win the title and where we are in the Champions League. Like, for instance, if we manage to beat Atletico and we've wrapped up the title, I think we'll start chopping and changing, giving these young boys a little chance.
Hungry, they're hungry youths, yeah.
You know what I'm
Cool.
saying?
You've got Bayern this week, haven't you? Or next week, should I say?
Yeah, big game.
How you feeling about that one?
Boy, I don't.
Lamps hasn't got the best big game record.
No, he hasn't. But
Bayern, they're
don't-
professionals.
the thing, I think, what's more worrying is that we're at home first.
Okay, you'd rather be
And
at home second.
Yeah, only because of our home form and what it's been like. Do you see what I'm saying? So if we go with that home form and we shipped 4 against Ajax, bro. Like,
That's scary.
luckily there's no 2 legs there, no aggregate scoreline, but shipping even 2 against Bayern is long.
Can't really
That's
give
a problem.
Lewandowski and them. man, a
Yeah, I
little
think what we
sniff.
got to do. I think what we got to do in terms of I wouldn't be surprised if Lampard went with the formation that we did against Tottenham. So if he goes with a 3-4-3, just to look solid defensively, because we know about RL9, we know about Gnabry, we know about Coleman, all them.
Never
kind
heard
of
him
guys.
called RL9, you know.
actually,
I like it though.
Yeah, it's got a little ring in it.
That guy.
We knew who he was talking about.
Yeah.
You know, already. There's only one goal scorer. at
levels.
Bayern. But he's a serious striker, and I think if he sniffs out any kind of opportunities that Chelsea seem to give,
Yeah.
that Chelsea cause their own problems at times, innit? Like, we definitely cause our own problems at times, and I feel like if that happens, once, twice. Tomorrow's not even injured, and
Just
that's
not
just not getting in at the moment. But that's it's a bit
Is that
weird.
deserved,
It's
do
a
you
bit
think?
weird. No, definitely not. I think even if you look at like the fact that Aspie was playing right centre back in that 3.
Yeah.
It was all to do with foot races against Tottenham in terms of like they were playing wingers as forwards.
Yeah.
You'd think to yourself like Tomori's our quickest centre back. He's got to start.
Distance.
But Aspie's captain in it, so he'll start against Bayern because of the experience. Probably start Willian as well, to be honest, which I won't be pleased with. To be fair, I feel like
Barca bound Willian, yeah? They've been trying to get their man for a minute.
For the last 5 years, no?
it's only for the bench as well. That's the maddest thing.
It's cat, man. Just throw him in the mixer.
Catch
man,
a young,
but
get a young La Liga, yeah.
Yeah, young man leader.
I don't think he's
Young La
going
Liga.
because my man said he just got his British citizenship, so boy.
But he's got a restaurant over here. Donny's got a restaurant over here, and I don't know already spoken to Mourinho when he told him about that 3-4-3. And he was like, yo, big man, listen,
We've got a space for you in that.
2.5 years, innit?
Yeah.
Just give me that. All you can eat at my restaurant for a year. We're nice. I know he was walking down King's Road with the trackies in there. He's a sick man. Man's already got the merchandise, bro.
Do you see yourself going through?
My heart wants to say, yeah, but my head's telling me no still. I think in terms of firepower, I feel like Bayern have got too much. And I feel
so.
I think they're the complete opposite to us. So even if they leak goals, which they did against, I think they played the bottom side in Bundesliga just the other day, I think yesterday. And they shipped 2 goals against them. Knew it was on a madness. I don't know what he was doing. Marathons on the pitch.
He gets
and that.
bored, fam. He gets bored.
Yeah, but exactly. But they shipped goals. But the difference with us and them is
They'll bang.
they are clinical. So they might ship 3, But they'll
Because
bang
score
5.
four.
Do
Yeah,
you get what I'm
4-5,
saying?
yeah.
See what I'm saying? We'll ship 3 and we'll lose the game. So
Yeah.
that's the difference. I feel like we can get at Bayern. I think I don't think their defenders are that quick either. So I feel like if we
They got Suela, they got Kimmich.
yeah, but I seen that yesterday as well. They played like a back three of Hernandez. I think they played a back three of Hernandez, maybe Kimmich and someone else. I can't remember what it was, but no, Alaba as well was playing in that back three. Yeah, but that probably won't be what they play against us. But
I think that'll be
if you was to play that against Giroud, you'd have to say that Giroud will bully them. Yeah.
Bully them still.
So Giroud might have some joy against them up there, but it's all about what we do. I think in terms of how we are at the back and how productive our wing backs are if we do play that formation. And then obviously Mason Mount and Barkley, if they have the same game that they had against Tottenham, there's all the hope in the world that we could go through. But
One of them nights. You need one of them nights at the bridge, yeah. It's been a.
we need one of them nights. We need one of them nights at Munich. Like that. That's what we need, man. We need one of them nights.
All right, cool.
But yeah, we'll see what
I'll be
happens.
watching, obviously.
Yeah.
See what happens.
Tuesday night, 7 o'clock.
Yeah, we'll be there, bro. Cool. All right. With that said, let's get into the listeners' questions. So our first question is from _Babs_98. With the season being all but over, I'm gonna go through the awards, see who you guys are picking. Who you got as firstly Player of the Year?
For me, I'll go Player of the Year. I'll go Mane. Probably.
Okay. Who would you go with?
Virgil van Dijk.
I think I will back you with Mane as well. Yeah. Young Player of the Year.
Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Yeah, it's got to be in it.
You lot are lucky Splashford got injured because it was his.
Yeah. I would have definitely said Rashford.
It was
to be fair.
Splashford. It was Splashford, my G.
Is it? Over Trent?
Yeah, just spamming
think so.
crosses.
I think
bro.
just the way he
Just
was.
spamming crosses.
10 assists.
Yeah, how many
Got 10
crosses?
assists. I don't give a damn.
300
My
crosses.
brother, like you said,
Yeah, 300
man who do things, innit? They have to do things, yeah?
300 crosses, bro.
What's the age thing for this young player of the year
Isn't
now?
it
What's
20?
it, 25 or something like that?
I said Sterling
I'll
won it
start
last
seeing
time.
these old, I see some old guys winning it, you know.
26.
Because I was just about to say, yo, if it's 24, you know, get Greenish in there, man.
Now, the thing is that you have to be like 23 before the season starts, 22 or 23 before the season starts.
Okay.
Henderson might be a
24.
little shot still as well. He'd probably be in the
At
nominees, to be
Sheffield.
fair.
Yeah,
He'd probably be in
cool.
the nominees.
Yeah, I would have given it Splashford, but I think now probably it's going to be Trent in it. He's going to win the
Gonna win the
title.
league.
Yeah, he's got all the.
They're going to do the old Ballon d'Or thing.
Yeah,
innit?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
he's won all this, let's give him the trophy.
He's got the.
Give the boy his credit now,
No,
man.
he's quality. man. We ain't gonna knock him. Cool. Let's try and put together a team of the season. So firstly, let's agree on a formation. So what would you guys be leaning towards formation wise? I think 4-3-3.
Yep.
It's got to be in it.
I think that's the most popular
Yeah,
formation
yeah.
for the most part.
4-3-3.
Who's been the standout keeper this season?
Before we do this, man, know what I'm on, innit? You know what I'm on.
All right, no one's gonna argue with Alisson.
I think because of the achievement, and the fact that they're up there,
Listen,
I'm
he got
going to go
the
for
Golden Glove.
I'm going to go for Henderson, bro. I'm going for
I'm not
Henderson.
backing that.
I'm going for Henderson. I'm going for
I'm not
Henderson.
backing it.
Just because.
Man, they want to be different, like.
No,
Bro, listen.
I
Listen.
I want to be
respect it.
Basquiat and that, man.
Listen. If Sheffield United are standing in the line with that Champions League anthem going on, yeah, you don't know it's going to be because of Henderson, innit?
He would have played
So,
a big part in it.
that ain't bigger than winning the Premier League for me, bro. I feel like Sheffield
Premier League
United
Golden
coming up.
Boot.
True, but I feel like Sheffield United coming up first season.
Yeah.
Young boy like Henderson being in between
That's
the
our
sticks of
future
them.
number one. Yeah.
No, he's
Why
not.
he's got
What's the hair on?
He's not
300k a week?
They ain't going nowhere.
The year's gone, bro.
Go to where?
PSG, my G's.
Like, you send him out, are we?
Huh?
Send him, are
We pay the fees, yeah.
Nah, I'd rather Henderson, actually.
You can't have Henderson. Forget about
He's gonna
Henderson.
get
He's
him,
off.
he's gonna get him.
He's off limits to you,
He's
lot.
gonna
All right,
get him,
cool.
he's
So Alisson in goal. Right back.
Yeah, it's Trent, isn't it?
Trent.
It's Trent, it's Trent.
Yeah? Alright,
We'll give it to Trent.
He's just centre back pairing. Say Van Dijk Van Dijk is a shoe in, isn't it? Who would you pair him up with though?
I'm trying to think.
Van
who
Dijk and
Oh, it's got to be Sonchu, isn't it? It's got to be Sonchu.
That's a good shout. City don't have
I
a
feel
standout
like even though they're
defender,
having
we
a
don't.
little bit of a
You
thing
don't
now,
have a standout defender.
No,
Yeah,
we
okay,
definitely
let's say
don't.
Sonchu. And who would you put left back? What, Robbo? Yeah, Robertson.
Yeah. He's been my guy from day one.
Yeah?
Anyway. Yeah,
Cool.
too
Who-
consistent.
Who's your midfield three then?
Midfield free. Flipping hell. KDB's there.
Really?
Oh, man.
Is Henderson there?
Jordan Henderson.
He's about to
Yeah.
he's about to mess up, kill the assist record, no?
Again, another crossing merchant.
Listen.
It is
His
what it is.
crosses-
I'm just calling it what it
Here
is.
though, Trent's crosses are crosses.
Because I've seen there's one game that he
Things
came
crosses
on.
are passes, fam.
I think there's one game he came on 8 minutes, 9 crosses. He plays in that right. He plays in that right. More than a cross a minute. He plays in that right.
Like you say,
inside right.
like you
channel.
say, listen, like you say, we know what he's about. We know what he's about.
Efficiency.
Man have to get in line and start defending them crosses, cuz we don't want him to get the
That's what I'm
assist.
saying.
Alright, cool. So you're giving one of the
Nah,
spots for KDB.
KDB.
Who else you want to put in there? Who's been the...
I'm not gonna lie, I'm going wild and going cover still. Cover's been our outstanding
Okay.
player for us this season, so I think Kovacic
I can't
definitely
really argue
deserves
with
his
that.
due.
I can't really argue with that.
Okay, and who would be the third midfielder?
It's got to be one of them Sheffield United dudes.
I would say Gini. Wijnaldum. He's been very consistent.
It's got to be out of Gini and Hendo, really, isn't it? Probably
I'll
out of them
go
two.
Gini be a bit more consistent.
Madison, Grealish.
That's a mad midfield balance, boy.
It is, but we don't care about that.
Fuck
It's
Madison.
just
Team of the
about
year. True.
Grealish.
Let's put Grealish in.
I'm not mad at that.
Cover will sit for them two dons to do
Alright,
their thing.
yeah.
I'm not mad
Alright,
at that.
cool.
He's versatile like that.
And he's your front three. Questionable in the deeper role.
I know. But for the team of the season, though.
It'll work, it'll work. Yeah. Cool. Who's your front three?
Mane on the left.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's between Vardy and Aguero.
You've got Guerrero, bro. You're not got... Auba's got to be there.
Auba.
Auba's
Let's
gotta be
go
there.
Aubameyang just because he's playing in a diabolical team
And he's still bagging.
And he's still bagging.
That's true.
Auba up top.
That is-
You said Mane on the left. Who would you have on the right?
Mo Salah. I'm telling you, who scored more goals?
Yeah, no, guys ain't going to get more goals than him because that's what he's about.
bet they did
That's
it.
what he's about. Has he had a better season than Mahrez?
Yeah.
You're not even sure. You're
Are
not
we
even...
going-
I told you. You
Are we
know
going
what
strictly
I'm
off?
about.
Hold on, are we going
you.
strictly off numbers?
Not necessarily, because I hate how the game is. Everybody just reads.
I don't wanna just
like,
go for
stats
these
are not
top
to
teams and
stats are not. Yeah, if you want to put somebody in that you think is
Shout me.
yeah,
No, I feel like saying
Adama.
I'm leaning towards it, but at the same time, I just don't know how consistent he's been. I haven't watched them.
I
that
think
much, like
he started slow, but then he's been on a.
I just feel like every
madness.
time I've watched him, he's pammed people like on that right side every single time.
But you think he's had
Like-
a better season than Mahrez or Mo Salah?
Probably not.
Who do you lean towards out of Mahrez and Mo Salah? I think City have struggled this season at times.
But Mahrez has shown up a lot
and
for them. though.
Mahrez has come through clutch. Came through clutch yesterday again with the assist for Javi
Banded us
Jesus.
up as well.
Yeah.
Bad up Chilwell twice in a row now.
All right, you better do your thing in it. If you want to put Mahrez, I'm not going to argue.
Alright, cool. Let's put Mahrez.
What do you want from us, bro?
Hey, listen.
Golden Prem.
I told you what I'm about.
They want a big comeback against Atletico. Yeah.
You know what I'm about.
They want their young G's to be getting Young Player of the Year. And now
I
they
want it
want
all,
Mo
fam.
Salah and
I
Mane
want it
and
all,
VVD
fam.
all
I
in
want it
Team of
all,
the Year.
fam.
Cool.
And Allison.
Yeah, it was always going to be a Liverpool-laden team, wasn't it?
Yeah. So we do.
I'm giving it Salah. Yeah,
We'll give it Salah.
We'll give it Salah. Yeah, we'll give it Salah. Got a, I mean, this ain't even really a question here. For Johan Yo, should Spurs consider getting rid of Jose if they don't make Europe?
They ain't got the facilities, big man. Fam, his contract is mad.
Is it?
It must be.
Yeah, it must be on like.
But you know what he's on, fam? He's like,
Yeah,
I'll give you this, give you that.
But he said what if they don't make Europe?
yeah.
And they
And by Europe, you mean Champions League?
can't.
We ain't talking Europa.
Levy's stacked anyway, so you don't really need the money. So
Fam, do you think he's going to pay out?
nah, I don't know, man. Like there's obviously a project there. I don't think Levy would have just hired Jose for just
There's a
no
thought
reason.
process.
There must be a thought process behind it.
Process.
Whether it's working or not, that's another thing altogether. But I think he's definitely going to give him. He's going to look at the fact that he's got no strikers now towards the end of the season as well. That's going to save him. I feel so. I don't think he should be sacked.
No.
not
But he's also
just
going
yet.
to say, like, I didn't have a pre-season.
Yeah, and I think just generally, I feel like Jose needs to get his own, like a few of his own players.
Yeah.
In. He's probably not feeling a couple of them. So as we said, and
That's in hindsight though, because when he
in
came in, we
hindsight,
were
yeah.
like, boy,
That's what
It
I'm
was
saying.
set up for
That's
him.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
it
So
was
it's
set
a
up
bit
for
of a
him.
sticky one because, boy, Levy might be really and truly. We're saying this now, but Levy might be sitting there thinking, "Yo, I made the wrong move. You know? Like I made the wrong move. Like
or
I should have
maybe
got someone else."
Spurs are in that stage where they've just come to the end of a cycle.
That's just it.
They've come to the end of a cycle. So this is
do you want to plan
Vertonghen and Alderweireld, who are probably in your top 5 to 7 centre backs for the last half a decade or so. They're past it now. They probably need a new left back. Aurier's questionable. Lloris has passed it. Dele Alli, do you want to stick or twist with him?
I don't even think he should be going Euros, bro.
Yeah, Kane's looking like the injuries were catching up with him. He was never the quickest, but he had a relative burst that looked like
And I can't imagine him coming back any.
He's been injured a lot over his last 5 years.
When he comes back, he's like
I think
27.
the thing with Spurs is they tried to do a thing.
It's a big job Jose's got.
That's what I'm saying. And they tried to do a thing where as well. Yeah, they kind of went the opposite to everybody else. So everybody else had like big managers. Like a lot of the top clubs had big managers. Yeah. Spurs always had like a Redknapp or a Martin Yeo or a Pochettino.
One of those guys.
A different guy.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then they thought, right, we ain't never had a
Established
top manager
guy.
before.
Obviously, I think they thought they wanted to be part of the elite. So part of being the elite is having a manager.
Top manager, yeah.
Who plays the game, he wears the
But the
suit,
problem
you
is, they've done it in the wrong time. Because in this time, it's looking like their managers are not really
Looking to leave and move.
as dominant anymore.
Yes,
You see what I'm
it
saying?
seems to be the younger, fresher ideas that are
Yeah,
coming.
you need to get that
coming
young
to the
youth from RB Leipzig or something. What's his name?
Nagelsmann,
or something.
half his players are older than him.
Yeah. Them guys. You need to get one of them guys in.
Nagelsmann, yeah.
See what I'm saying? So, I don't know. We'll see what happens.
All right, we got a question from Rafi FC. Bruno Fernandes looks like a good midfielder around the players that Pogba struggled with. Why is that? That's absolute cap, Rafi FC. We're not even really going to take that question seriously because I'm assuming you've been drinking a bit.
No, but
It's
this is
Sunday.
what he's watching, isn't it?
No. What is he watching? What is he watching? I don't know what he's watching. How can
Well, that's
you
what he's watching,
possibly
isn't it?
say?
Like-
No, but I'm asking him and I'm asking you. Because what is he watching?
Fam, he's calm, he's progressive with the passing. Teams are like, they're scoring goals. Like, what? Fam, this is what he's watching, isn't it?
The stats and the eye test do not support it. The team with Pogba leading the midfield, we created far more chances than that. Remember, in a good season with Jose Mourinho, we came second in the league. I haven't really we haven't seen anything from Bruno yet to suggest this at all.
Yeah, I can't lie, the guy's capping still.
You're capping, man.
I'll go as far as just saying he looks a good buy, innit?
Yeah.
That's what it
That's
is right
about
now.
as far
He
as
looks
you
a good buy.
He's better than what they had before.
I mean, you'd hope for 60 mil.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking from experience, not necessarily. I hear you. I hear what you didn't say. Alright, cool. I got a question from Super George One. What additions would Leicester have to add with them making Champions League next season? So George is obviously somebody who doesn't even think Spurs are going to get dragged back into that top 5 race. We disagree with that. Leicester.
Yeah.
But what additions do you think they need to make? Because obviously, early part of the season, all the way up to, I say, like January, really, they were firing, and people were like, these lot look immense. They've gone off the ball a bit. Vardy hasn't scored in a bit.
Yeah,
the results aren't looking as bright. What more do they need? What improvements do you think they need in their team?
It's interesting for Leicester because the problem is how many of those players are they even going to have?
Okay,
Who
do you
come
think
the
is
summer?
going?
So I'd say you'd have a close look at people like Sionchu, Chilwell, Maddison.
Yeah.
You look at them players and you'd kind of probably put your bets down and saying that they're going to be leaving.
I thought
Leicester.
200 mil though.
It is a good amount of money, and then I think the thing is with Leicester, I think their style is as well. I don't think they will go for top players, even though they're in the Champions League.
They don't need to.
I kid you not, they'll probably go for players like Buendia if they go down. They might even go for players like Benrahma at Brentford. Do you get what I'm saying? So
They buy well,
they'll bring
though.
them through. Yeah, they'll bring them through.
But those aren't going to be the difference makers in the Champions League.
They won't be. They won't be. I don't think that will be enough. So, in terms of who they need, they do need, I think, probably elite players. But I'm not too sure who they're gonna who they can attract. I don't know who they can attract.
Well, I think they'll go like what we're saying. They'll go for like the undervalued players. But I think they need someone to help Vardy. He's getting on a bit.
Well, you're not feeling Kelechi, no?
Nah, man. Kelechi's still. Kelechi's decent, but he doesn't give you the threat that Vardy gives you. Like,
Okay.
in
Different
behind
sort of
him.
strikers, but Kelechi's got goals in him, though.
Yeah, he has, but he's a bit. Kelechi sleeps too much, man. Kelechi, he's not the brightest in and around about. He's bare like lethargic, fam. Kelechi, fam, he missed
touches all over the place. Yeah,
Kelechi sleeps too much.
Tanganga.
It's man, that touch was mad foul. Listen, mad heavy.
When you're taking accidental touches and running after it like you meant it,
that was best sprinting than that.
I wouldn't even bothered.
I would have left it on that round.
Disgusting.
It's them things, innit?
So, What are you not
wingers.
trying to say to Super George that?
I think don't expect any elite players to come in. To be honest with you, that's the safest.
Let's say they keep their squad pat and they don't lose anybody and they get a couple of players in. Can you see them getting out of their group? They'd be what, a fourth seed?
Yeah, I think so. I think they play good enough ball, and I think if you're talking about their players leaving for other clubs, they're not leaving to go to smaller clubs. They're leaving to go to better clubs.
If they get Champions League, I
so
think they'll
technically, they've already got top players like Soyuncu. People say he's a top 4 player. He could easily probably start into City's team right now. Do you see what I'm saying? So Chilwell, Maddison, and then you got Vardy. Like Vardy
still,
still panning. So yeah, exactly, big shooter. So. I don't know. It's different to when Ranieri was in the Champions League the following season. I think it's going to be much different to that.
Yeah, I think it's more like...
Brendan's also, I think, a better manager as well. So
Okay.
Yeah, it'll be different. I think they'll be all right in the Champions League, but in terms of what they can attract, that will be the big test for them. In terms of being in Champions League, don't necessarily mean you always get the big names, as United know. As you know, I was going to say Chelsea, but.
Yeah,
that was through the letterbox thing.
No, I'm saying. That was the closest example I could use. That was the closest example I could use. Fernandes coming, like, he's probably not going to be in Champions League.
Knock. Is anyone there?
I think Liverpool even done it a couple of times, to be fair.
Just as he's opening, like he's putting it through the letterbox.
I'm
opening the doors.
Hello.
It's Paul.
Yo.
Yeah,
So
man.
I have to get him when I can.
I respect it.
Maguire's still out here.
Yeah, don't get me started on that guy. Don't get me started on that guy. Cool. All right then. So, with that being said, good luck against Bayern. Good luck in your in the wars to come.
It's good knowing you got bruised next to it.
We're through, but it's Europa. Like there's 10 rounds left, man. Before you even get to the semis.
You're tired already.
I miss having Getafe in the
There's like
semi-final.
64 teams left still, man.
And the lect away and everything.
Still got a couple trips.
Semi-final, Frankfurt. Oh, what a hard time.
Champions League qualifiers as semi-final. So we'll see. Because if we get one of those teams that have come down from the Champions League, we're out basically.
Ajax got panned the other day though.
Yeah, they did. They
2-0,
did.
innit?
Yeah, they did, and they didn't
Might be
have a
looking
sniff.
at Ajax going out already.
They didn't get a sniff, man. So
Yeah.
we'll see. We'll try and go as far
Ziyech
as we
ain't
can.
doing his thing. He's saving that.
He's saving that for you lot, yeah?
He's
That's a
saving
good
that.
buy. That's a good
Very
buy.
good buy.
Big respect. I wanted him still.
Appreciate that.
So
Fernandes looking good as well though, so it's all right.
Yeah, cool. Alright, man. So yeah. All right, lads. Have a nice evening.
Cool.
Sweet.
Cool.
Peace.
Take it easy.
All right, man. All right.